Overall, not a bad week for crypto, and overall, a very good week for myself. So let's take a look at my trades, let's take a look at some charts, and do some projections for next year. Let's talk about that in today's video. Let's jump right into it. So happy Friday. Hopefully you had an amazing week. I personally had both my Ethereum Iron Condor and my Solana naked calls that I sold. They were profitable. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit. So before I show you my trades, let's actually look at the current situation of our cryptocurrency markets. So if we jump right now to the screen, we have Bitcoin at 92,300, we have Ethereum at 3241, XRP at 204, BNB stuck at 887, Solana at 138, then we have Dogecoin at 14 cents, Cardano at 42 cents, Hyperliquid at 29.5, and then Zcash at 16th place with $458. These are the ones that we have covered more here on this channel. But now looking at the fear and greed, we are finally going up, almost out of the fear, going into the neutral zone at 29 here on the fear and greed crypto index. So in the past month, in November, we saw the fear and greed index going all the way to the 10. We saw just a few times across the years numbers these low as what we saw in November. And now we are finally moving away from the, low 10s to high 20s. So now we're 29. We have been in 29 since yesterday. Hopefully, we're going to start picking back up and going towards the greed, which is when the markets start to get very excited and move a lot. So starting with Bitcoin, Bitcoin is still on a overall bearish place because we have crossed here. This is the death cross between the 100 and 200 moving average. But if we go to the weekly, we are still well above this and we actually bounced on top of this. So maybe this on the daily is just a little reset, and in a couple of days, maybe weeks, this is going to cross back up again. And if that's the case, then for sure it's going to be bullish for Bitcoin in Q1, maybe Q2 next year, which is what we already talked about in another video when I mentioned that historically, whenever we had a bad Q4, Q1 and Q2 tend to be very, very good for Bitcoin and Ethereum. So hopefully that's the case. Now looking at Ethereum, you can see that I've drawn a line from up top right here, October 7th, all the way down. We actually tested it a couple of times and now we actually broke above it, but we have to see if we're gonna remain above this or not. On Ethereum, which differently from Bitcoin, we have yet to cross the 100 and the 200 moving average, which is definitely good if they don't cross, but we can see them, touching and then the blue line bouncing back above this. Again, we need to take a look at Bitcoin because Ethereum, Bitcoin, it is more favorable towards Ethereum right now, but maybe if Bitcoin has enough strength to go the 100 moving average going back above the 200, then for sure we could see this never crossing on Ethereum and crossing back again on Solana. Solana, just like Bitcoin, looks like they crossed, a few days ago and it has been going down. Solana also has that line coming straight down and we crossed that, but just by a margin. And we have to wait and see if this is just a fake breakout and then we're gonna go down again, or if we're gonna hold above this. If we go hold above this, we should be close to a bottom, if not the bottom, right here on November 21st for Solana. So we have to wait for future weeks to see, because the Bollinger Bands is also very, very tight on all of these, very tight right here, a little less tight on Ethereum side, but clearly for Bitcoin and for Solana, the Bollinger Band is very tight. And usually when we have this, funnel, when we have this funneling up of the Bollinger Bands, it means that we're about to see huge volumes, price explosion towards one side or the other. So now talking about the trades that I did, you can see all of these white lines. These are the sold legs that I did for each strategy. So these tiny lines are 0DT options, but then I saw that the market was getting very choppy. You see huge wicks and very tiny bodies. I didn't want to trade 0DTs on this, so I decided to go for the weeklies, selling on a Saturday morning or even a Saturday night all the way to the next Friday. So this is what I did here, and all of these three were profitable when it comes to Solana. And on Ethereum, I actually forgot to mark the other one right here, but on Ethereum I had a very good Iron Condor here and this Iron Condor this week, which means that I sold and I bought a call and I sold and I bought a put, meaning that I wanted Ethereum to stay between these two white lines, which is what happened. So the one last week I got around 8%, and this first week's trade, I got around 4% on this. On Solana, we were doing trades at 3 and 4%. I'm going to show that to you in a little bit, but these were not condors because there's not enough liquidity and not enough size on my part to open these condors for Solana. But for Ethereum, there's more liquidity, there's more market makers there. So I was able to get these condors here on Ethereum. But on Solana, these were usually spreads or, just the naked leg that I was selling, a naked put or a naked call that I was selling, which is very risky. But this is why I was going so, out of the money by using price movement estimation for that expiration date, using Delta, using the Greeks that I teach you about in the education course that we have on the topics, which by the way is totally free. So let's look at some trades. We are here on the dashboard. You can see right here, November 28th, December 5th, and December 12th, these 3 weeks trading. We have 4.2, 4.5, and 3.5 respectively. And these were all just, naked legs that I was selling on Solana. So I sold 2 calls and 1 put in between. So week after week, I am looking at these trades and deciding if it's better to sell a put or sell a call. And for the iron condors, because there's multiple legs, I'm actually tracking them on Greeks.live. So here we've done 12.7% since the 28th of November, which is when I did the first leg. And you can see that we actually went below for a little bit because the market was so choppy. But then after that, we went up only, and I'm up 12.7%, which projected for the whole year gives me 300% per year. But again, not feasible to do that. Maybe we're going to go above 100, 150 if we're very fortunate, because the purpose of this one is just for me to trade, make some money instead of me to actively trade every day whenever I can. No, if there's a window and all the stats are perfectly aligned for me to get in the trade, then I get in the trade. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense for me to trade just to try to, beat the copy trading or, make the most amount of money. No, I want better win rates, higher win rates and, low frequency. I don't need to trade as much. So the ZeroDT strategy works. It is very reliable. But again, when it bites you in the butt, that maximum drawdown that we talked about, that Sharpie ratio that we talked about here in the channel, that one affects your overall trades, the totality of the trades. So when you compound that, you need way more activity in front of a computer, way more, strategy. And for weeklies is way less. Of course, you're also giving up some of the returns. If you were to do a full week of ZeroDT's trading, you're going to beat the weeklies for sure, but you're adding more risks because more trades, it is more risks. I don't want to do that. I want to just slow down, get higher win rates, get work on my Sharpie ratio, and overall compound that for at least 1 year to see how that thing goes, instead of doing huge wins, high ROIs for, 1 or 2 months and then having a huge loss that brings me back almost a month back. That doesn't make too much sense. Or I would have to do vertical spreads so tight that sometimes I cannot find that liquidity anywhere. That being said, you can learn all of these things that I'm talking about. If they are new to you, you can learn for free because we have a free course for you on the topics. Just use my first link in the description, then you're gonna register, and when you register, you can just go to the topics and then you click on education and you see right here a free course, Zero to Hero. You see lesson 1, and we have all of these lessons right here for you to watch and learn. And now if you are a German speaker, we have that in German as well. Eventually we will have more languages. Let us know which language would you like to see next. If it's one language that I speak, I will just narrate over that, like a voiceover, like a dub. But if it is a language like German, which I do not speak, unfortunately, then we will have to use AI, just like we use for this. But I've been told that this is very, very good, even if it is AI. So let us know, what would you like to see? And again, if you want to check it out, we have the copy trading, which is doing very, very good. And if you want to trade by yourself, you can use our options cards, which is a simplified way of getting in a trade, pretty much like a prediction market. You just need to know direction, expiration date, and what price do you think is going to be above or below. So these cards make it very, very easy for you to get in. Or if you want to trade by yourself, you know a little bit more about options, you can just select which option you want to trade. We now even have PAX Gold. We have gold options for you to trade with. So just select which options do you want. You can switch between selling and buying calls and puts. Here you put the series. Again, if you don't know how to trade, how to use options, the education course is for you. And if you already know, but you want to do advanced strategies like the Iron Condor, like the the butterfly, which we talked about before. Again, the course is also for you because we have an advanced strategy module, which is the module number 2. The second part of the course is all for multi-leg strategies. And if you watch the full course, but now you want me to add more or want me to add specific things, then also comment down below or send us the DM on X or on my personal DM, whatever works best for you. But again, this will conclude today's video. Hopefully it was an insightful one. Hopefully we have a good end of the year for our cryptocurrencies. But yeah, thank you very much. I'll catch you guys on Monday for another video. In the meantime, enjoy our shorts that we're posting now in between videos. So Monday or Friday we have videos, and then in between these days we have short form content, which we're also cross posting on X and on TG. So if you follow us there, let us know if you enjoy these videos as well. Thank you very much. Take care. I'll see you guys next week. Have a great weekend. Peace.